Why am I drinking soda instead of water this time? I am rewarding myself because if you've watched me for a long time, you'll notice that I always drink water, very rarely coffee when making my videos. But yet again, I'm rewarding myself because you guessed it, I was right again about a certain situation. What situation was it, you ask? Well, it's the situation I gave you on the title of the video which you clicked on. Load shedding has returned, and not only has it returned, we have returned to stage 2. And not only that, I've got some cherry on top for you to put y'all on game real quick. The electricity minister says load shedding is not over. It's never been over. It was just suspended. Now, one of the reasons it may have been suspended is because of the elections, but I must say I'm awfully impressed at how long they actually kept things stable for after the elections. Could it possibly be because of them trying to leave an impression on us in the whole GNU situation? You tell me. I like how all this time people were calling me crazy and everything for making these raw, unfiltered, controversial as shit videos. And what you notice is that nowadays, as time goes on, the truth is slowly unraveling itself. I was right about the teenage pregnancy. I was right about the load shedding. I was right about the Nesfus thing. What else was I right about? I guess we'll have to find out. That's what I'm talking about right here. Granadilla flavor. That's what I'm talking about right here. It's all fun and games at first. Until you realize that this bridge troll was actually correct. It's all fun and games at first until you realize that this kid was actually spitting facts. This kid was actually on something. He was trying to put us on game. But by the time you realize that, it'll probably be too late. Because you see, if you've watched me long enough, you'll notice that I said more than once that there is no such thing as free speech on this platform. Or any other platform, really. I motivate you guys to follow me on my Rumble account and subscribe to my Rumble channel every time. Because every day, I feel like I'm getting closer and closer to being cancelled here. With the things I talk about, I'm actually surprised that I'm not cancelled right now. I thought I was fucked when I spoke of the youth situation. Especially when I went viral. I thought I was fucked. I thought, okay, the Summer Sandwich on YouTube is done. The only way people are going to be able to watch me there is if some people upload some old clips of me, or if they like download videos from my Rumble account to upload to YouTube. Whatever they may do, it's not going to be from me directly. It's going to be from like affiliates or something. Because I genuinely thought I was done for. But then I uploaded another video, and another video, and another video. And as time went on, I felt like I was going to be more and more cancelled. Because more and more truth was being exposed. To you poor people who don't know shit. You have these big government officials, but they don't know shit either. They just tell you what they think is going on. What if I told you there is nothing wrong with ESCOM? What if I told you there is nothing wrong with the electricity situation? Everything you've been hearing is a big scam. Why do you ask? That's because South Africa does massive million rand deals with abroad companies in terms of exporting coals in such situations. But we're going to complain of losing electricity. Coal is our number one supplier. So how do we have load shedding? Coal is the number one supply for this country in terms of electricity. So how the fuck do we have load shedding whereas we export coal to other countries? Shouldn't we be keeping that coal if we're experiencing such situations? Let me guess, you're going to tell me no, Sam, it's not the coal. It's the high density areas. It's the systems. Well, then why the fuck aren't we upgrading them? Because we certainly have the money to. What's going on to all those funding institutions? What's going on with all of them? You telling me we broke now? So now that we have to fix something, we all of a sudden broke now. Let me put you guys on game one more time. How many times have you heard the same reasons to why there's load shedding? I remember, if you're as old as me, when I was in my final years in high school, 2018, 2019, ESCOM was bringing out stage 6 and stage 5, right, for the very first times in a while. And one of the reasons they would give, the very common reason they would give, was that they were trying to avoid an overload in high density areas. Now, the first thing that came to my mind is, what the fuck is a high density area? Now, I found that out. And after I found that out, I realized that that shouldn't be really a problem. Because if it's a high density area, the institution should be looking at what they should do to avoid it being that way. Okay, it's a high density area, sharp, case closed. Now what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to make sure it's not a high density area? What are you going to do? Are there some special protective devices you need to use in that area to make sure it doesn't have an overload? Are there any relays you'll have to use? Are there any giant fuses? Are there any circuit breakers you'll have to use to make sure? I'm talking on a very basic level, but you get what I'm saying. I've put you on game a long time ago. If there's a problem, you acknowledge there's a problem and you do something to avoid that problem. If there's a high density area, you put whatever you need to put and use the measures you need to use to make sure it's not a high density area anymore. Not leave it alone and call that an excuse for a long time. If you don't want to do something, you're going to find an excuse to why you don't want to do it. We both know that. And if ESCOM doesn't want to do something, they're going to find an excuse to why they don't want to do it. So they're going to find a reason to why there's load shedding in these areas till this very day. They were told to upgrade the things in the late 90s and they didn't. And now we're suffering the consequences. I actually feel really bad for the little kids that are growing up now, the kids that were born in 2024, because the chaos that is in this country, the chaos that you can't see, wait till you actually start seeing it, then you'll feel just as bad as I do. It's all fun and games at first. Until this guy starts getting right. Until this concept of a man starts getting right. Summer's way too harsh. He always talks bad about the government, doesn't he? He's just too bad. I don't recommend anyone to watch him. Until you realize that I was probably the most truthful person on this platform. I'm literally the only one with the balls to say things some of these content creators wouldn't dare to say. Because they don't want to be cancelled. They want some of that quick dough, you feel me? They all want some of that quick dough. That's what they're here for. They wouldn't dare say something to get YouTube to cancel them. They wouldn't dare do anything like that. They wouldn't dare. And speaking of not daring to do anything, I could be cancelled at any week now. I don't know. Maybe after I upload this video, YouTube's gonna send me like warning shot 1, because usually what happens is that they send you 3 warning shots and after the 3rd one you're fucked. So they might send me one after this one. Who knows? I'm just getting more and more anxious, which just gets me more and more motivated to release more videos, to get as much truth as I can before I leave and go to Rumble. So, in case you haven't yet, follow me on Rumble. And I'm gonna start a newsletter too, so that like, I know there no one's like watching me. Well, not in that way, but like I know that there, I can be as raw and as unfiltered, and I can give things straight to the point as they are. I still do with these videos, but with that, I can make them longer and you can read that for yourself every single day. I'll try to post every single day. So I'm thinking of starting a newsletter, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel because that helps me so much. And in case this channel gets cancelled, who knows? You might wake up one day and find out that the Summer Sambit is not there. So just follow me on my Rumble account. Have I made a Rumble account yet? Yes, I have. Just make sure to subscribe to it before this one just gets deleted. And then when it gets deleted, the only way you'll have to see me is by someone uploading some clip or someone out there a few years later saying, hey, you remember that kid, Summer Sambit? Yeah, man, the kid on YouTube used to talk about the problems SA faced. He used to upload a video every day. That guy. Sometimes he'd upload, sometimes not, but he used to talk on very important situations. Situations not many people would dare to speak of. Whatever happened to that kid? I mean, a lot of people were ridiculing him. But then if he was so ridiculous, then why did they have to cancel him? I mean, if he was that ridiculous, we could have just ignored him. So why do we have to cancel him? What were we trying to avoid him from doing? What were we trying to hide? What were they trying to cover up by canceling him? I'll leave that for you to answer. Goodbye.